Greetings from MIH of MIH Gifted Services, live in the set, getting her done like we always do. True freshman, undefeated, and just stayed. It is Veterans Day. Happy holidays. We did stay true freshman undefeated on Veterans Day. We are in the middle of the Hypnotica heavy bag sweat. In the heavy bag, Hypnotica sway. Lifted forehand, live in the set. True freshman. Getting her done. Full commentary. We wanted to give y'all the chance, again, to understand that this is 400 pounds being moved, grinded, twisted, heaved, and pulled straight off the gridiron. Our 4.0 at 40 years old. Our 4.0 GPA in DNA testing. And our 400 pounds is in the bag. Live in the set. True freshman undefeated. All day, baby. So as we break it down to the bare condiments of gang, factualize and fantasize, and what this could be like, we just moving weights. We on the grind. Can't call it a hustle because it's too much weight. But, you know, we get it done. Right here. in the mass components of building, MRH brought you Real Gang. As a long distance marathon heavy bag lift, we have seen this at the time variation. 2 hours, 1 hour, 50, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Hours that you couldn't catch because I just didn't want to upload. 1 hour, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 50 minute sets, 40 minute sets, 30 minute sets, 20 minute sets. It got so ridiculous and doing power clean, it can never be ridiculous. This is the truth. So as we break it down, as we always do, what's up, babe? Always hollering at the honeys. Now we started out on the phone, macking on the phone. Now we got the new iPhone tablet chat. Skadum-dum. And we just live in the set. You know what I'm saying? It's just how we do. So the macking ability is still power clean. We still getting it done. You know, we didn't leave y'all out. Then we got the full respecters, the true freshmen undefeated on Veterans Day. I'm out. Go. And as we grind and twist to the hypnotical move, we really ain't leaving y'all out because it is what it is. Now we took you through the particular slang and jargon of just kicking gang, hip hop, R&B, singing, comedy, getting her done, the hardcore weightlifting, where you just know, ain't no way. So as you see in the process, we have over 100 different views of weightlifting. In these 100 different views, at 400 pounds, 4.0, of course, DNA testing for the GPA, at 400 pounds, and at 40 years old, as a youth, we breaks it all the way down to the factual content of stats. Now these are stats. We stay around the Olympic Pro session because after 20 minutes of lifting 400 pounds, after 15 minutes of lifting 400 pounds non-stop, up and down, as you see right here, we are setting our records. Now we do move the weight about from 8 to 12 ways. As you can see, up, down, and back. That's the full squat, power clean motion, back up. Then into this grind and twist. When we get to the top at the grind and twist, it's around 10 or 11 full movements. That's one rep. So as we set that in place, in its order and fashion, after about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, even 10 minutes of a grind like this, we're setting and breaking new world records. We're equaling the records that we've already set and continuing in the process of its edification. So let's just say you got 400 pounds lifting for 10 minutes. Let's say something exuberantly supernatural will probably go for 10 minutes, lifting about 400 pounds. Just pretty solid. But each of our lifts count as about 12 movements of 400 pounds, which puts us right around 4,000 pounds per lift. 4,800 pounds per squat, or sometimes 5,200. So when that is accumulated, after 10 minutes, We are now in world record setting standard through the marathon training. We keep this continually going with commentary usually. I know it's hard to get a feel for it and get an understanding of why we lift weights this way, why it works. So we took you through all the processables, all the Dianetics, the mind, body, spirit, and soul, the full exorcism of it, written off it on the range by Embrace Gifty Services, live in the set. So it is processable through me and my company. These are just straight power cleans, straight workouts. Where these are accredited or live in the set, right here, getting it done. Where they are considered in the competitive content is, of course, after about 10 minutes, when you know you're naturally fully tired, can't go, we add the marathon long distance implementation of reality, where things are going, what happens through due process of edification through the truth. So we're not subjective to the means of a malfunction. What I mean by that is a mistake. So we keep these in perfect form, showing the up, down, side to side. Full awareness of its movement as a weight lift. Very good. Right here. Okay. So we're not being misinterpreted in the power clean weightlifting component. The bag is swaying now, again, like when we was hitting 175 or 200 or 230. We get a natural sway, and usually we dragged it with a knee lift, but it's still enough weight to grind it out. Now, we hit the heavier weights, as you know, 500, 550. Gave you the agreement negotiations. Showed you how that could be 500 pounds in a game, being fully processable. As do you want that on the court or on the field, or how that would work. Through that, as a PowerPoint presentation, it is acknowledged within its content as written off it on the range from Michael R. Henry. Our educational content in its hypnotic sway, heavy bag movement, the expelling of McKinley Rainier Helens, the biggest mountain on earth, McKinley, alpha initially expelled by reason of Michael R. Henry. We did this in full ordination of civil aerospace engineering, and of course the nuclear volcanic eruptive reactors have been expelled on account and in accord of grade analysis and of course early graduation and the expenditure of the true freshmen undefeated continuing on. So these values continue on through the true freshman undefeated early graduate year. We went on to expel McKinley Rainier Helens, alpha initially of MRH. It was Michael R. Henry. In doing so, we subject titled that as civil aerospace engineering. What that does is it cleans the oxygen, produces a higher level of purity and H2O and oxygen. So the Arctic breeze that would crevice a crisp mountaintop of fresh air that would take the development of a barometer to understand its movement is now sustainable through the full expelling of the highest and biggest mountain on the planet Earth, McKinley. Now, with that being said, as also written, author, owned, and arranged by MRH of MRH Gifted Services. The building components to it have happened again from 1996, and the full edification of the college duration of graduation. Same process, just taking some refresher courses, had a chance to mean exactly who I am and what I say, and be truthful and not veer from it, and had a chance to expel the same initials again and the same meaning, and lift now. So as this is happening, it has crossed the path of a millennium, which is the year 2000, and you have been subject to recognize real game. Now, aside from that, because that's needed in the character of artistry and building components, you know, where you get certain inspiration from. So if you grasp from the fresh oxygen, you become fresh oxygen. Now, we show you that as a matter of fact, as a stat that cannot be changed. So if you are continuing to move on throughout the hemisphere as your status quo, that's just how you roll. That's just how it goes. Now, as this is accredited through my company, MRH of MRH Gifted Services, of course others could not accredit it or be advised, because of course, naturally, to get what you want, you have to work hard and go for it yourself, as you all very well know. So you know how that goes. So as we attained the achievement, kept it moving, privacy, confidentiality, nobody knew. Bag did her thing. What's up, Bag? She had the newborn, you know, the newborn was coming in. So when we addressed it in its divine order and fashion, if y'all recall the flood of Noah, so we ain't preaching, but so we're not teaching, but so it's in the divine order and fashion that has been set upon me, as all things have been met accordingly. So God came, told Noah there's going to be a flood, flooded the whole earth, and all the volcanoes were flooded. So when I expelled McKinley Rainier Helens in a 9-6 and in a 16, it brought forth the baby shower, where the gifts of the Spirit just became acknowledged in God. So, with the expelling of what God had already flooded in Noah's times, then coming back to a definite era where, of course, Mount St. Helens erupted in 1980. Rainier is on the block, and just by rain itself, you could tell the rain flooded the volcanoes. And you got McKinley at the top of the world. So as it got dealt with, as they always do, everything became fulfilled, of course, in its divine order. Baby shower. Eternalness throughout time and life of evolution, without presumption of God, nature, bearing the truth only. So, as this became evident, we took you through, of course, the false diagnosis, being filed against, and all the things that they want to add on unto as being filed against and not being there, like as a father figure or a heavenly Father. So as these stats came about, you can tell now I'm not making them up, and they are official. You do look them up. So it is a process of evolution that is taking place. So again, when we say the false diagnosis, when we say the false filing, and having to meet the divine orders that were set, like a fraternity order, these things were already met, of course, prior to any of the allegations that were made. So, in clarification before the truth, as we stay true freshmen undefeated, that's what really matters. Taking them through that process as a mistake, they understood fully filing against me and my nature and my person. In turn, aligned them filing against, of course, the Godship. So when that mistake happens, you got to bear your own truth, and really grit down and deal with it if you can handle that. So we don't expect for them to come back and be able to grasp this nature, of course, ultimately and totally, as having, of course, the own decision-making process to be unto who they are in that matter and in that order. So we didn't force this on nobody, but it is what it is. So, with that being fully explanatory and over with, again, we're not looking to reconcile on the terms of a power move in the reality of the persons in opposition towards MRH. So we don't have that applicable content. Everything has moved and shifted as like a move of the Spirit. So when God moves, So as that happens, those are primary reasons. So when you're devising your game plans and there's no truth to it, you a lie and the truth ain't in you, and it comes out like that in the middle of the honors, you'll start understanding that that really happens sometimes. That really goes down. So it's not to look to me as being the decision maker to file against myself. I don't put myself in that position. Everything was already in order accordingly down to the initial substance of reality. Now, where that becomes substance and edify is now, of course, beyond the character of mother and child. So we're headed back to the prince and princess setting. Yo, what's up, Val? I had to go ahead and digress, come back to that young prince setting, as you can see. So we just tossing up faux hump, getting it done. So we had been here before anyway, but now we really here, holding the reins. Beautiful skylines, crescent moons, you know what I'm saying? Beautiful sun rays, all true and fresh, mentioning just favorable game day in and day out. But you got to understand that they took it there and felt confident, like they was the ones, like it was a win or loss situation. So we didn't take that approach. Of course, we took the, it's just a kid, can't do too much. All that damn shit that could be cracking off, that ain't nothing for no kid. So again, we address the substance as private and confidential, kept it to ourselves, reduplicated it, watched it happen in college, and just kept it moving. We didn't have no gambles on us. We had the divine separation of the truth and the lie, who's really bearing it and who's not, and then getting into the conscious reality of, just staying power clean. We was doing power cleans, full squats. So as we have that in our full package, our PowerPoint presentation. You know, we want it to be complimentary when you hear about it, when you see us lifting, and as we take you through. So we got you at the 40-minute, 4.0, the 400-pound, the DNA testing, the full child support, and we show you why we rid of all of that, but we have to keep things like that in order and in motion for the full dialect of the truth. So we ain't being lied to. But most of all, we ain't lying unto ourselves. See, it's worse if you're your own worst enemy. But you gotta know where you are and what's going on. So this is edifiable, of course, in its Olympic nature again. After 10 minutes, we've got about 12 movements, 400 pounds. We can move it up to, 575, 600, and it could be that too, whenever it's time for that. But for right now, we're doing the 4.0 full conjunction and word process. So as we take you through that, those Olympic sets that get you right about now, and the 400 still swaying, all those count and go down in history as goals. With full commentary, you've seen it rapping, singing, dancing. Loops, or brother just, looped it, just working on different breath techniques and styles that just, can take you off into your own world so you can do what you want to do. It's that time in the game and what's going on. So your stuff is clutch, and you continue to produce. You can respect it right here, right now. Again, we've shown you the excerpt nature of what it could be like. But this right here is 400 getting it done. So if no one ain't here actually to be a part of it, it's because at some point in time they've been against it, which is not case in point, rule and thumb. But we do address each of these matters as being consistent in our world record setting. So these lifts after 10 minutes in a competitive state are all goals. So as they stack up by the hundreds, as they stack up by the tens, as they stack up by the 20s, as they stack up by the 50s, as they stack up by the 12s, it is to be reconciled in this form, this rare form. The full production is happening. Okay, we still rolling. We'd like to thank you for viewing Emerge Gets These Services. We're hitting y'all at about 40 right now, 40 minutes and 17 seconds. Go.